We finally got the first trailer for Dark Deception Chapter 5, and my god, this has been a long time coming. Chapter 4 came out in September of 2021, and we hadn't even gotten anything resembling a teaser for the 5th chapter in over a year. That was until June 17th of this year, when the official Dark Deception Twitter account posted that we would be getting our first teaser trailer in 3 weeks. Following this, several cryptic teasers were posted, like this image of Doug staring into a computer screen with the caption, "It's always darkest in the beginning." Or later on July 6th, with the account saying that there's only 4 days left until the trailer, with the image of Doug's eye bathed in red light. Then finally on July 10th, the teaser trailer was released, with the Twitter account promising that this is just the first of multiple teaser trailers for the final chapter. Now, this trailer is interesting for a few reasons. The first one being that the bulk of it seems to be showing off a cutscene from some point in the chapter, which I'm assuming takes place in between the levels Holiday Horror with the Puppet King and Prison Panic with Darkstar, as at the end of the trailer, we get a quick shot of Bierce and Doug, with Bierce putting her hand on Doug's shoulder as the two look over at the Prison Panic portal. And of course, we gotta talk about the cutscene itself, which starts right off with what was shown in the teaser image, with Doug staring at his tablet screen before he looks up in response to someone calling his name. And it seems a lot here like these voices are coming from inside his head, and causing him considerable emotional distress by the way he winces in pain upon hearing them. Next we hear a child's voice say "Daddy" before we are shown the source of the voices, which look to be Tammy and Elise Houser, Doug's wife and daughter who died in the car crash that Doug blames himself for, before a lot of little black arms that seem to originate from the two grab Doug, reaching through his body before we are shown the same shot of Doug's eye bathed in red light from the teaser earlier, and then Doug standing in front of a wall of eyes with laughter in the background. Then suddenly a hand grabs Doug's shoulder, and we are back in the ballroom, with Bierce trying to comfort a kneeling Doug, the obvious takeaway being here that the whole thing was some sort of vision, nightmare, or hallucination. Now it's time to ask the age-old question, but what does it all mean? And I have some thoughts. First of all, I don't think that these are the actual spirits of Tammy or Elise that we are seeing in this trailer, but instead a manifestation of them created by Malik to prey on Doug's guilt. The wall of eyes that is seen at the end of the trailer is obviously the true form of the demon Malik, as the laugh that plays during the shot is his laugh, and the eyes here look exactly like Malik's eye that peers through the door at the back of the ballroom. And there is also this shot of Tammy and Elise outstretching their arms, with the arms that attack Doug being shown right after, implying that they are the ones sending them out. And of course, right after that, as the arms completely overpower Doug, we are shown Malik, drawing association between the arms, Malik, and Elise and Tammy, and again implying that they are simply an extension of Malik. I think this is also evidenced by the way the two look in the trailer, wearing the same clothes that they can be seen in all of the marketing for Chapter 5, but with pale, dead skin, cuts on their faces, and blind eyes. It should also be mentioned that once Doug begins interacting with Tammy and Elise, the scenery changes to the three of them being underwater. And I'd guess that all of this is Malik getting inside Doug's mind and preying on his guilt, creating not even representations of the real Tammy and Elise, but showing Doug what he fears they look like after the car crash that he feels responsible for. The green jersey and blue dress that Tammy and Elise wear through this chapter likely being the last things that Doug ever saw them wearing. This is especially prominent in the voice lines where Elise asks, "Why are you here?" and Doug responds, "I want to make up for what I did." Again, likely referring to Doug's guilt about the accident, which after Elise disagrees and says that Doug needs to feel loved by anyone, even us, the ones that you can control, as Tammy's voice joins in and the two speak in unison. And as similarly with the way they look, I'd guess that the lines here represent not actual things that Tammy and Elise felt or said about him, but things that he is afraid they think, and things that he is afraid he did, that he used them and controlled them. From everything I can tell, this cutscene is just Malik using Doug's own guilt and fear of what he did to torture him. Oh yeah, there's also no sign of even a release year in this trailer, let alone a specific date. Although the Twitter account did announce a second trailer coming in August, shortly after the release of the first two, so maybe we'll get one then. And excitingly enough, the account also said in another tweet that, quote, "If you've been waiting to see the Puppet King and Darkstar, teaser 2 is probably going to be your favorite teaser trailer." Likely meaning that the second teaser will show more of the level's actual content and monsters instead of just a clip from a cutscene, which is cool, but of course the actual monsters and levels are definitely what we're all here for. I think Chapter 5 was originally planned for release in 2023, although I couldn't track down the specific post that said that, so someone correct me there if I'm wrong. But it's still pretty funny to me that we are more than halfway to 2026 and still nothing. I'm guessing that this was just a classic case of the game turning into a much bigger project than the devs had in mind, especially considering the amount of content in Chapter 4 that already went well beyond the 3D Pac-Man-esque gameplay of the earlier chapters. But of course, long delays and periods of silence from devs is nothing new to us, so we'll just have to wait.
Okay, yeah, there you go. You got another Dark Deception video. I honestly kind of forgot that game existed because like there'd been like nothing for it for like a year, but then conveniently the second I come back, there's suddenly news. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel. I might just keep making videos. I might not. I don't know. Recently, the channel turned 10 years old, which is like a lot of years. And I want to do like a video about that sometime. I was going to upload it actually on the day of, but I didn't because I'm always late to stuff. But I don't know. I have a few ideas of what I want to talk about, so stay tuned for that maybe. I don't know. Like, subscribe, comment to boost all engagement, watch time, other stuff I pretend not to care about, and goodbye. See you in the next one.